tell you something that almost nobody in the skincare industry really wants you to know. That $90 serum that you just bought, which has a really impressive ingredient deck, might be doing almost nothing for your skin. Not because it's a bad formula, but because the actives aren't real. Sometimes by the time you receive a product, the actives are already gone. My name is Jules, and I've been formulating skincare for 16 years. I make every product here in Colorado Springs, and I'm going to walk you through something that I think you should think about every single time you make a skincare purchase. Here's how most skincare gets you. A brand, probably a big brand that you're familiar with, probably one that you trust. They contract out their goods to a manufacturer, and that manufacturer makes a massive batch, sometimes tens of thousands of units at a time, because that's what's efficient, that's what's affordable, that's what's profitable. Then the products move to a distribution warehouse, and then they're going to sit. And then they'll move to a regional warehouse, and then they're going to sit. Then they move to a retail shelf, and then they sit. Sometimes they go to a fulfillment center, and then they finally make it to you. By the time you get that product, it might be 8, 9, 10 months old, maybe even a year old. And brands will tell you, oh, it's fine because the expiration date hasn't hit yet. But here's what they're not really telling you, is that the actives sometimes can be dead by then. The ingredients that do the most for your skin, known as actives, are often the most fragile ingredients to work with. Vitamin C is a perfect example of this. It's a very popular brightening ingredient, and it's an antioxidant for your skin, but it starts oxidizing the moment it's exposed to heat, light, or air. A properly formulated vitamin C product that's stored imperfectly can lose a significant amount of its potency within just a few months of production. So by the time it's been sitting in a warehouse for 6 months, what you're putting on your face has very little active vitamin C left in it. Retinol, very much the same story. It's notoriously unstable, which is why we don't work with it. Even a well-sealed, well-packaged retinol product loses efficacy over time. And most of the time when you're buying a product, you have no idea how long it's been sitting in a warehouse or on a store shelf. So this is what you want to be aware of when you buy a product. Actives go through oxidative stress. They just degrade over time. Before you ever open a jar, natural oils, rosehip, sea buckthorn, hemp seed, these oils also turn rancid over time. So it's not just actives that degrade. And sometimes they can cause an inflammatory response in your skin. Oftentimes they'll have a bit of a rancid sort of smell, or something smells off. Also, the preservatives in your products, they weaken over time. Their job is to keep bacteria and mold out of your formula, and they're constantly working to do that from day one of the manufacture date. So not just are products potentially less effective over time, the preservatives may not be as effective over time either. I'm saying this not to scare you, but because this is real chemistry, and I feel like you should understand this and make good choices when you're spending good money on products. When we manufacture products at Simple Body, we make it in quantities that we can move quickly. Not what's convenient for a warehouse, not tens of thousands of units. We want to manufacture things and sell them to you before the actives fall apart. We are making enough at a time to fill real orders. We are making products literally 4 to 5 days a week at Simple Body. So you are going to receive your product very quickly from the manufacture date. That's how small batch direct to consumer products work. So when you buy from us, you're buying a product that has, been manufactured very recently. It hasn't been sitting on a shelf. It hasn't been sitting in a fulfillment center. It's been recently produced and packaged very carefully to keep the oxygen and the air out of it, so that by the time it gets to you, it has the most efficacy possible. So most skincare also doesn't have a manufacturer date. They give you a period after opening date, a PAO date. And that number is usually indicated by a small icon. And it's good for as long as that PAO date says, but it doesn't tell you when it was made. So when you're shopping for products in skincare, especially, buy from brands that manufacture their own products, not brands that contract manufacture and private label lab-made formulas, because you're gonna know when that manufacture date is. You're gonna know that the person filling those bottles is trying to get it out quickly. And when you buy from the brand, there are less steps between the manufacturer of the product and your skin. Not a lot of time will have passed, and that means the products are probably going to be more effective. Ask questions. Ask the brand, when was this manufactured? You'll see on our bottles, we do put a manufacture date as well as an expiration date. So if you're buying a product with vitamin C or actives, any sort of actives or any sort of premium oils, ask the brand, when was this made? And if it hasn't been made in the last month or so, it's probably a product not worth investing in. I built Simple Body because I couldn't find products that I trusted. And the longer I've been doing this, the more I understand that trust isn't just about the ingredient list, it's about the whole supply chain. Where something was made, who made it, when was it made, and how fast is it going to get to your skin? Those are the things that really matter. If you want to see how we make things at Simple Body, follow our social channels, check out some of our YouTube videos. And if you have questions about any of this, I encourage open dialogue. Please leave a comment below. I will personally respond to every single comment. And thanks for watching.